Hey rockers, welcome to Mama-Ology Psychology, where you get to peer into the minds of the owners of Mama-Ology Burgers. We're bringing you into our world, where we talk all things business, lifestyle, and our psychology.
Hey rockers, welcome to episode 3 of Mama-Ology Psychology. Last time we made a boo-boo because we're not used to this whole YouTube podcast situation. I didn't introduce myself, and secondly, I didn't introduce my co-hosts. So I'm Natalie, one half of Mama Rocks. And Moses, go on, introduce yourself.
I am.
That looked reluctant.
I am Moses, married to the other half of Mama Rocks.
Who's me?
Yeah, cool.
I don't deserve a name.
Seems so.
I was going on with her plan, so you can introduce yourself. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
introduce
have a
yourself.
microphone and all that.
I'm Samantha, and I am co-owner of Mama Rocks, and we're doing this podcast to try and inspire other people.
To be inspired.
To be inspired
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
beyond being inspired, and being inspired to do what's unconventional. Because I feel like everybody has been told, 9 to 5 is the way to go. You've got these paths. We're trying to show you that there are other routes to success. And I don't feel like we're even there yet. It's not like we're here saying we're successful.
Yeah.
We are successful, but I feel like we have a whole plan that we need to achieve. And in terms of where we want to be in future, we haven't got there yet. We've still got some place to go.
Thank you for that introduction. So I just
That's
want to
okay.
rewind a little bit. Moses, in the interest of
I'm an over-talker.
in the interest of equality, you can't just introduce yourself as the husband of a Mama Rocks owner. You need to also say what you
That
are
is
all
how
about.
it has been for the last 3 episodes.
I'm trying to bring it up.
Oh, so now you're gonna do gender
Yes.
equality
Okay.
finally, yeah? Finally.
So Moses, what do you do?
My God. Alright, so I'm a film producer. I started off by doing events. Actually, I started off by doing commercial modeling for commercials. It's in the name. And then from through that, I was like, wait a minute. I was told I can also do runway. As I did runway, I was told I saw from doing runway, I saw that I can also do events, because if they're paying us for like a 2-hour gig to do runway, how much are the events organizers making? And then I ended up doing events. And then from events, I was like, I'm in the wrong business, because I saw film producers spending the same amount of cash in events.
Okay.
But now on film or series, and then they're making their cash more, and they're not depending on rain or tickets or whatever. And so I was like, I switched over, and now I'm a film producer.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's do you want to talk about any of your productions
No.
that we were in for
So
some fleeting 2 minutes?
how?
Not leading at all, Natalie.
Yeah,
No, not at all,
leading,
no.
yeah,
Not a
nah,
leading question at all.
We'll keep it real.
But how we met was, I was planning to shoot The Yard, which is my web series, which is a music drama based on actual musicians, producers, and media personalities playing themselves, but on a fictional plot
In Nairobi.
in Nairobi, Kenya,
That's very important.
with an original album soundtrack. You can find the album soundtrack on Boomplay and on SoundCloud. I don't know if it's still on the other platforms. I have no idea. I forgot about it. Yeah, but you can find it on Boomplay and SoundCloud. And you'll get dope Kenyan musicians that never get played on radio for whatever reason. When I was shooting that series, because it's a 10-episode series, that's how I got to know you guys. Because you guys are in the series.
In it, yeah.
Yeah, we got roped into it and
Our first experience of acting.
or trying to act. Can I just say that?
I would
act.
say trying.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
So let me just try and keep this concise because it's kind of we're vibing in that way anyway. But today's episode is about know yourself, know your business. So for any budding entrepreneurs out there, we just feel like this is a really cool message that if you want to build a legacy brand, again, this is just our opinion, okay? You need to know yourself. Because in our experience, don't you feel like when you built Mama Rocks that you can't unpick Mama Rocks, the brand and values and philosophy away from say Samantha or Natalie.
Yeah.
Or I suppose even when you made the yard, that's very much Moses. Like when I watch it, I'm like, that's so Moses.
him 100%.
Like all the cheesy lines,
All the action.
the plot,
The whole thing is
music.
you. Very
The
you.
deepness,
it
all
oozes
the
you.
deepness.
The depth.
The depth was
Yeah,
Moses.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I am a deep guy. I am a deep guy.
Who likes a bit of cheese? Yeah.
Deep with cheese.
Yeah.
It's like dipped in cheese.
Nice food analogy there. Nice food analogy. So am I safe to say that you can't like distinguish yourself as a producer and Moses? Like what you produce is of you, vice versa.
Yeah, like what I produce is an essence of myself.
Yeah.
So I never get involved in any project that doesn't represent a version of myself. So it has to represent me in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is kind of an uncomfortable topic because I think it's the first time I feel like we're being truly vulnerable about who we are. Because I think people see the brand Mama Rocks and can make lots of different assumptions, but we've never really spoken in depth about our philosophy or our value system and the journey it took for us to get there.
Yeah.
Because it was a painful journey, and I'm sure Moses you'll share as well, that the journey of self-discovery is not one for the faint-hearted. Like you have to be willing to see the ugliness
Continuously.
all the time.
Continuous. There's no like a phase and then it's over. It's continuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
And
at all.
it's a continuous journey.
Yeah.
Like none of us can sit here and say, mommy, I've made it. No, we're not there yet. Like it's a continual thing.
But did you say that with a
I
Nigerian
have
accent?
no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, for myself, I hated my job, but I didn't realize I hated it until I kept on moving from job to job to job. In the space of 7 years, I had 7 jobs. I knew I loved media. I loved the creative industry, and that's what I loved. So I just went from media house to media house. But I didn't really understand why I wasn't really interested in sitting at a desk or everything I did was because I was supposed to. Like I went to uni. I did a
What
human
the
resources.
society expected
Yeah,
from
That's exactly
like
it.
I did an MSc. I was like,
Society sets up certain milestones that you have to go through, and you feel like you have to follow them.
and I believed in that structure.
Yeah.
Like I can honestly say right now I felt like I was blind, and now I've been reawakened to there are other routes to
Yes,
success.
definitely.
But you need to define what does success mean to you. Because for example, if you want to be a stay-at-home mum, then that's cool. Then that's success in your definition of success. But the structure
defined by you.
9 to 5 wasn't my idea of success. So I'm not trying to downplay those people who are in a job. That's cool if that's what makes you happy. But it didn't make me be happy being in that job.
It needs to make you happy. You need
Exactly.
to have a level of fulfillment. So
Yeah.
even if you're in a 9 to 5, you need to feel fulfilled. So if it doesn't fulfill you, then clearly you're not meant to be there.
And I think the essence to all of this is that you need to know yourself. Because
Exactly.
unless you know yourself, you don't know what you want to do. And that's something I struggled with for a lot of years. So like even up until the age of 30, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So it was amazing discovering it.
But how did you discover yourself?
It
Do you want to
was,
share?
that was a long journey. And I think that's what the topic of discussion is
Yeah.
today. Finding out who I was. And even, you know, I tried to find out who I was, and I discovered a lot back then. But now I've discovered a whole lot more. So it's like an ongoing process that continues.
So what was the spark? I mean, can you say what was the initial catalyst when you realized that, hang on a second, I'm in a story right now that I don't want to be in?
Yes.
Like, what was that moment? What did it look like? So people can think, can relate to what you're saying. Can you specify a specific moment?
I remember over the course of maybe 6 months, going to work. As I've said in a previous podcast, that I worked for a charity, and I was fulfilled, but I didn't feel like I was fulfilling my potential. I felt like I was definitely giving back, but I wasn't fulfilling my purpose. I hadn't found my purpose.
But did you
So-
know what your purpose was?
I didn't know at that time what my purpose was, but I decided I'm going to discover who I am.
And what did that
that was
look like? What did that look like?
That was a very deliberate decision to look into who I am and what I want to do and what I want my life to be. For some reason, I've always had this thing where I'm like, I can design my life.
I'm going to jump in there. Sorry, Moses, I'm going to ask you in a second.
Yes,
But we did something unexpected. So we were both unfulfilled in our jobs, and then I don't even know how we found this thing. It's called Landmark Forum. How did we discover that? I don't even know how it came about.
Landmark
I know.
Forum.
It's called Landmark Forum.
I
So-
remember how.
Go on.
So I was discussing with the lady at work, and I saw this lady as like my guide in some way, because she was a more mature woman, and she had, like, she knew where she was going, and I looked up to her, and so we had many conversations, and one of the conversations involved, I went to this program called Landmark Forum, and basically Landmark Forum was this program. They basically teach you, they help you to break down who are you.
So when we say break down,
who are you?
That sounds really light. Like when I say break down, it means
Yeah.
a literal break.
Literally
down.
breaking
3
you
days,
down as a human being.
Yeah, it was a 3-day intensive course.
Yes.
Where they made you even reflect on points in your childhood
Yes.
that defined who you were.
It was very emotional.
It unpicked any fears that you might have had, any preconceived notions about yourself.
Yes.
And it dispelled it. And it was like, you know what?
Any incidents that might have happened during your life as well, that might have fed into what you think and what you believe.
Is this like what we call going through a chakras in meditation?
I suppose, yeah.
Going through because like it's about self-reflection.
It's basically reflecting on who you are, what has happened to you in the past, and how that has made you create a set of beliefs that you establish, that basically you form who you are out of all of that.
Because you believe it or not, we do have negative beliefs about
Yeah.
ourselves and
Mostly negative,
and limiting beliefs. Like I could say, oh, I can't do that because I'm too logical, or
Yeah.
I'm too uptight, or I'm too
Yeah.
whatever. When it's like, actually, no, there's no such thing as that. You're
Yeah.
telling yourself that, and that's
You've
a
made it
limiting
up.
belief. Exactly.
You've made it
Or
up.
you're everyone is kind of taught to believe in a personality. You have a personality, but personality can change. You can be whoever you want to be.
It's about belief. Like
It's
you just-
about what you believe in, and that forms.
So that's what
Your
the training
life.
that training was all
literally
about.
Yeah.
3
basically.
days. So
It
on,
broke it down like
Just 3 days.
on the
Yeah.
third day,
Intensive days.
literally people in the room crying.
Yeah.
Like it was actually turned into a meditation at the end.
Mm.
And it's about letting
therapy.
go. Yeah, it was literally therapy, meditation, all those things together. And I know people like to say, oh, meditation, that's woo-woo, that's weird. But it's not. If you're scared about closing your eyes and how going to thought about yourself,
Yeah.
then you can't face
then
yourself.
you have issues.
That you need to
Literally,
unwind, yeah.
meditation is about sitting down, being comfortable with silence, listening to your mind. Why is that wrong?
Moses, have you tried?
That's all it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've tried meditation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I tried meditation?
Yeah.
I have tried meditation. I found that every individual should find their own method of
Yeah.
meditating. You need to understand the concept of meditation for you to meditate. Don't just put on a YouTube video and then start
So what's the concept for you? Like,
the concept for me, because I'm a very visual kind of guy.
Yeah.
My form of meditation usually comes in form of even a movie. So, for example,
It's more visual, isn't it?
it's more
Like
visual for me.
visualization.
It's more visual for me. When you just tell me to close my eyes and just think about peace. For me, it doesn't work because like my mind is so busy.
Yeah.
So for me, I need you to take me to a journey.
Yeah.
And then that's when I look for these movies that have, I guess it goes back to my film producer nature. I go to movies that have an act 1, act 2, act 3, and sometimes even an act 4, because I want to be taken through a journey. And all these movies, and there's plenty of movies out there. I can give examples like general ones, Pinocchio.
Yeah.
You know,
I watched that
Aladdin.
recently. It was amazing.
Sorry, for some reason, I don't visualize you watching Pinocchio.
No, we
And
watched that recently, didn't we?
Yeah,
It was nice.
we actually rewatched it again.
Yeah, Disney Pinocchio.
Yeah, Disney Pinocchio. But basically, I'm giving examples that people know,
Yeah.
because I don't want to go deep into the stuff that I'm only
Yeah.
into. So things like Pinocchio, I think Aladdin, they have a journey whereby there's this individual who is in a situation where very disadvantaged. So like Aladdin, he's like a pickpocket. And the reason why he's a pickpocket is because he's poor.
Yeah.
And
He's born into that
he has
circumstance.
dreams of being in the palace,
Yeah.
which is the kingdom.
Yeah.
And basically how he ends up, he never gives up on that dream, even though he's a pickpocket. So he starts this, and then he goes on a journey where he even ends up marrying
The
the princess, and then he ends up being in the palace. So it's a journey that tells you of don't give up on your dream,
Yeah.
no matter how ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
It
for a
might seem.
pickpocket to see themselves in Kenyan terms, state house, for a pickpocket in the street to see themselves in state house,
it's like an impossible thing.
is like that people can't even discuss that with his friends.
Yeah.
Because they laugh him off.
Yeah.
But then the movie tells us, yo, as a pickpocket, don't give up on your dreams. You will end up in state house.
And that's what brings up the fact that stories are so important.
Yeah, they're
It's like
powerful.
film,
music. There's music
everything.
also
Stories.
that does that to you, you know. Like I'm a big hip hop fan, and J. Cole has dropped this new album. It's called Off Season, and he's also going through a journey. You can tell on the track, from track to track, he's going through a
I
journey.
love that you're
Yes.
saying this, because do you not feel like, okay, I'm showing my age now. Albums used to take you through a journey.
Used to, yeah,
Used
and
to
they had
take you through a
skits.
journey.
They had
Thank
skits in
you.
between.
Now it's like, where's the story?
We're in the
Yeah.
age of singles. It's because
It's
we're in
just
the age of singles.
yeah. What's popping? What's hot? That's
So
it.
guys are just dropping singles
Yeah.
because it's all about likes and views
Yeah.
and
It's
reactions.
not about depth. It's not
Or
about
dropping knowledge.
No,
Like- Or
dropping
yeah.
knowledge.
So, and go back to what we were saying about Pinocchio and his friend. Like, if you were to say in Kenya, I have aspirations of being in a state house, so people will laugh. That's also part of the journey. You need to make sure you surround yourself with people who champion you.
Yeah.
Hey, will not laugh at you when you share your aspirations.
Yeah, your big dreams.
Yeah.
Some
true,
people
so
might
true.
see it as big dreams, but it's all about
It's just a dream.
being limitless. It's
Yes.
all about being limitless. We are capable of anything.
But
and
all
like, who
outcomes-
is there to put the limits on
No,
you?
but all outcomes, you say it's a dream, but all outcomes start with a dream.
Yes.
So our dream, we dreamt from Mama Rocks, right? And it became a
Yeah.
reality. You
It was-
dreamt of the yard, and
exactly.
it became a
It was
reality.
within
I dreamt
our
of being a film
imagination.
producer, period.
Yeah.
Just being a film producer, period.
Yeah.
Whereby I'm having all these amazing discussions. I'm going to film festivals. I'm getting emails from all these people. I'm even getting emails from the government. And these are things that I feel like, because I didn't give up. Because starting up, like you guys are also going to go into it, there's so many naysayers.
Yeah.
So many naysayers. And it's so easy to just be like, I guess it is what it is. It's a
Yeah.
situation. Let me just give up.
Yeah, because they believe that it can't be done. Yeah, because
So
they believe it
they're
can't be
imposing
done.
it on
So it
you.
can't be done.
So they're imposing it on you.
Yeah,
that's what-
if you believe that something can't be done,
Then
then
yeah.
it can't be done. Yeah, you're right.
But it's like when I was growing up, I had loads of friends, yeah?
Yeah.
And then as I've gotten older, those friends have dwindled right
Wow,
down.
I've literally
Because
one friend, my husband, one friend.
no, but it's because as you change and as your goals change and your focus changes, you don't realize how everything else as well feeds into that. So I'm not saying that people I knew were negative. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I think I move differently. So that my what I need around me has changed. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that I'm different.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and that's scary. It's a very conscious decision to say, you know what, I can't vibe with you anymore. And it's
And
hard.
it's nothing personal.
And it's nothing, thank
Why?
you. It's
What
nothing
changed?
personal.
What do you feel? What is it that you can't vibe with people? Why? What changed about you?
She
that-
changed.
I changed.
Yeah,
They didn't
but
change.
what-
I changed. I think I became
What
more,
about you changed?
over the years, I think I've becoming more and more intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Before I feel like I was less intentional, or I'm striving to be more intentional.
Yeah.
And like before, I could happily like drop stuff and go hang out, but I'm like,
Mm.
actually, you know what? I'd rather sit down and work out what my next move is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's how I've changed. And it might sound boring, but I feel like I've become a bit more OCD, like a bit more like laser beam focused.
It's
on
more
something.
like,
I can
what's
give
the
you an
point?
answer to why.
Go on.
Because I feel like the business is not. It's not about business. It's about changing the world.
Yeah.
And that those values are integral to who you are. And so, of course, you will hold off a social appointment because it's frivolous compared to what you feel needs to be done in the world.
But it's also important to have a healthy balance.
It is.
But it's about finding people also move like you, have
Exactly.
the same.
I think
Who
more of
think in a
that.
similar way.
I think it's more of, there's nothing wrong with a social life. We
Yeah.
all love social life.
it's necessary.
It's
Yeah.
extremely.
Yeah.
The issue is the people you hang out with in that social life. Or do
Yeah.
they build you?
Yeah.
Because you get to a certain level in life whereby you need meaning in everything.
Yes.
Even social life.
Definitely.
You can't just go randomly, hang out with random people. It's like there was a time for it and you passed it.
Yeah.
And whether it's either you missed a window or you are on the window. So like you need to do something that has meaning. So when you hang out with people, you constantly asking yourself, am I gaining anything from these guys?
Yeah.
And if you're not, it just crashes your spirit even in that moment.
But that sounds really transactional.
Yeah, it does.
But I agree with it though, because I feel like everything has give and take. Everything has I can't say the word. Help me.
I can't say it.
Reciprocate.
Reciprocity. I can't say it.
Reciprocity.
Anyway,
Yeah.
can anyone say it out
Two
there?
English girls.
I can't. Reciprocity.
So I think as you're climbing, that's the word. Yeah. So as you're climbing the ladder, you almost want that person to help you kind of push you up with their hands and vice versa.
Give you inspiration.
Someone you can inspire and they can inspire you back.
Exactly.
Someone you guys gel.
Mutual inspiration.
Yeah. So I suppose the summary of that is find people who are vibing like you are.
Exactly. And that
get where you
it
wanna
gets
go.
difficult. It gets
It does.
difficult because we're here. We don't have that much time to socialize. But I think we've become more picky over time. And yeah, it's something that I think it does bother us a little bit.
It does. Because, okay, for example, if I say to a friend, oh, actually, I don't say it. I just go silent, radio silent for 3 weeks. And then they take it personally. It's like, it's nothing to do with you. I just had stuff I needed to sort out and I don't have to explain that. Or if I explain it to you, it's like no matter what words I say, you're still not getting it.
You're not getting it.
So that's the bridge that's hard to cross. Whereas if I was with a fellow entrepreneur, they'd be like, oh, cool, there's no explanation
they'll
needed.
get
Or
it straight
someone
away.
who gets you,
Yeah.
the explanation is way less because
Yeah.
they can just call you up and then you can just say 2 words and they know exactly what you mean.
Exactly.
I'll be like, got you.
Yeah.
Do your thing. We'll check back later.
I just feel like the mindset is completely different. You know, a 9-to-5 job, you have security. You get paid. At the end of the week, end of the month, you get paid. No matter what you do, whether you perform or not, you get paid. You've got that security there. But with, being an entrepreneur, you don't get that security.
And it's kind of tough being an entrepreneur to hang out with 9-to-5ers. Nothing against 9-to-5ers, but it's like 2 different worlds.
Different languages. Yeah.
2 different worlds. It's like hanging out with NGO people.
Yeah.
You get me, yeah? Like all these NGO guys, they have their own lingo, they have their own vibe, and then you're just like...
It's a new world. It's a different
like
world.
a whole world. And then you're
world.
just watching them from afar, like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And so same thing when you are more entrepreneurial and your friends are 9-to-5ers, they don't get the strictness you're putting on yourself because they have already done the work. It's Friday. They need to let loose.
They can clock off.
They can clock off. You can't clock off.
With entrepreneurship, there's no
It's
clocking off.
24/7. You can't even sleep. You're like, okay, next idea.
Yeah.
It's like you have to keep it moving.
Because it's not just about you, it's about
Everyone
everyone
else.
who works under you.
And
We
then-
have 75, is it 75
Yeah, something like that.
employees? We got to think about them in every moment.
And
So-
then even apart from the employees, you get to this momentum of making the world a better place.
Definitely.
Or
That's
some
why
or
we
an
set
impact.
out.
Or not even making the world a better place. That can sound cliche. An impact. You
Same
get
thing.
into
Impact,
this
yeah. Mission mode.
mission
A
mode. You
mission.
get into this mission mode of like, okay, so what's next?
Yeah.
As to 9-to-5ers, they'll be like, I have this and this is the deadline.
Yeah.
And then as long as I meet the deadline, I'm cool. So it can be Friday and I can clock out and no one will call me to question me or whatever until Monday morning. Yes. Whereas for you, you don't have that mentality.
Yeah.
You view your work differently because for them, they have this thing of like work is like a punishment and weekend is a reward. When it comes to the weekend, this is my reward.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like with being an entrepreneur, it fuses with your life. There's no separation.
Exactly.
There's actually no separation.
So Moses, what journey of self-discovery did you go through? I'm sure the Moses sitting here today isn't the same as the Moses like from 3 or 4 years ago.
Completely different person. I went through a number of self-discovery journeys because like I had to completely shed off everything I know. I had to shed off everything I grew up learning. I
So you went through a process of unlearning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I still am. I'm not there yet. And it's not easy, but then you have to do once you see what you need to do, and you put your mind there and you see the system how it is. So for me, it was I had all these dreams growing up of I want to do this, I want to do this, kid stuff, yeah. And then high school came, and then in high school I was always an artistic person. I've always been writing. I even was writing poetry, music. I used to be a big hit come Valentine.
Valentine's Day. He would invite everybody.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Even your teacher? Imagine him writing it to the teachers as well. No?
What?
Okay, I'll take that back.
No, for his friends. He would write Valentine's notes for his friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
On behalf of his friends.
exactly. They would pay me. My friends would pay me to write poetry to their girlfriends.
Wow.
We were in boarding school. And so I was in boarding school to begin with, and then went to a day school, which was mixed. And both places, when it came to Valentine's Day, my male friends used to come to me like, yo, I need to do something nice and sweet for my girl on a budget, blah, blah, blah. We are in high school, we don't have money. so I would be like, yo, so tell me her favorite color, what you like about her. Because I had to
You had a
customize.
formula.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I had to customize
honestly,
it.
I'll say Moses should get into the gift card business.
Yeah. Anyway, side note.
Anyway.
Go on.
So anyway, I've always been creative or in some way, shape or form growing up. But then that dream was kind of dialed down when I looked at the realities of the country I'm in, which is Kenya. And it was like, I can look at all the musicians I love at that time. As I said before, I'm a big hip hop head. So I would look at the old school guys, the Kalamashaka, K South, even the guys like Isa, and even come when the Genge time, Nonini, the Juakalis. And I would look at their life and I'll be like, I don't really want their life.
It doesn't reflect.
I'm a fan. I am a fan, but then they're living very average life, according to me. Their life
It doesn't reflect the success that they should have, that they have in Kenya.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the numbers following them.
Yeah.
It doesn't reflect in their lifestyle.
It doesn't.
From what we see.
From what I could see, because I don't know them personally.
Yeah.
So from what I could see, it didn't reflect the lifestyle I want. It wasn't similar to the American or Western lifestyle that all these other
And
musicians.
why are we demanding less than that?
Exactly. So for me, I changed my mind. I was like, even though I'm into this kind of stuff, clearly I'm not in the geographical area that allows this kind of stuff to flourish. You understand? And so I changed my mind more into academic. And I was like, okay, now I'm in high school. I'm about to clear very soon.
What about becoming a priest? You're missing that bit out. You went to seminary school.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank
Hip-hop,
you for bringing it up.
Priestdom.
I was trying to avoid it.
You can't now.
Yeah. Having a religious background that I think all Kenyans have something in common with. Extremely religious parents, extremely religious grandparents, and great grandparents, and I don't know how far it goes back. And so I was raised Catholic, and going to high school, I went to Vihiga High School in Vihiga, and then I hated it. Because I came from a public primary school, not a private primary school. The reason why I was at Testimony, it was called Testimony Primary, and the reason why I was there, I could afford to go there.
Can't even visualize this.
It was also Testimony it was a Christian school, yeah. So you can see where I'm leading with this, yeah. So all Christian, the primary school is called Testimony. First of all, I went to UG High, Wasingishu High, so that's Eldoret, and that was public. And then my mom was a teacher at Testimony Primary School, and it was a private school. And so my mom being a teacher there, as a kid of a teacher, you have like a bursary kind of type. So like you only pay 50% of the. So that's how I could afford to go to this private school.
Yeah.
The private school, which was like one of two private schools in Eldoret. Therefore, all the marathon runners and all the politicians of that area took their kids there. So it was a ballers kind of school.
Ballers Academy.
Ballers Academy.
It should just be called that. Ballers Academy.
So like for most people, it works against them. For me, it works for me. It worked for me because it helped me dream. Because I used to hang out with rich kids. And when I was hanging out with rich kids have bigger dreams, naturally. and therefore I got into that mode, that mental frequency of the rich kids, whereby, because these kids are talking about, for me, I'm going to, their dad has organized like Oxford University for them. You
Organized. I like that word.
Yeah.
Organized.
Organized.
Not earned.
Paid off some
in full.
someone in Oxford.
Like the dad is ready to pay for all 4 years
Yeah.
in Oxford, like cash in advance. So they would have these grandiose ideas of their future, and I wouldn't be left behind. I would be right there with them. Yeah, I also want to do this.
Yeah.
I also want to do A, B, C, D. So
Your aspirations were way higher as
my
well.
aspirations as a kid were always way higher because of the kids I was hanging around
Yeah.
with. So it played a big part.
That's important because I feel that that's what's lacking. Full stop.
Yeah, but when do dreams die? Because as kids, we all have dreams, and I like what you said about unlearning. It's like you're having to go back and regress and see, okay, what were my dreams, and when did they become impossible? Like what happens in life?
You say that all kids have
I
this
think all
dream.
kids have they start with dreams, yes,
They do, but
and then what happens?
A crazy imagination. All kids have
All
a crazy
kids have
imagination.
imagination.
All it doesn't matter where they
reality hits.
Life beats them up.
Yeah, and then life beats them up. Reality hits,
Yeah.
and the reality is that they're told that
You
The
can't
society.
Yeah,
Listen,
you
we
can't
live in
do
a
it.
society whereby from the moment you come out of your mother's womb, you're told you ain't shit. You
Yeah.
ain't shit. From the
Yeah.
moment you're just born like this, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. That's what you're being told by your friends, family, everyone.
and
you
so
ain't
you go
shit.
into survival mode, and you're literally just surviving.
And it doesn't even have to be direct, like you ain't shit. It's about how behaviors around
Everything
there.
that's
It's
around
never
you.
direct.
It's never direct.
It's never direct.
And that's why it's even more impactful.
It's never
Yeah.
direct. It's never direct. You just see, you go to your teacher, you're like, I want to be a robotics engineer. Okay? He's just burst out laughing. Right on your face. Like, all right, cool. Do your thing.
Exactly. That's enough to squash a dream.
Yeah.
But isn't it
yeah.
funny how your teacher's dreams can affect you?
Totally. I told you about the time when I was in a class, religious education, not to be a nun, but just as part. I went to Catholic school.
RE class.
And I went with my book where I did the homework,
Yeah.
and my teacher said to me, "Oh, Natalie, is your first language English at home?"
Why?
Because my spelling was that bad.
Yeah, you're right. Your writing is pretty bad
And I
too.
was like,
sorry.
"Yeah, why are you
Same.
asking me that?" But look, I mean,
Yeah, it's very demoralizing.
Yeah.
you don't say that to someone who's a
How old were you?
Maybe actually, I wasn't a baby. I'll give myself some leverage here. I was like 14.
Wow. And they asked you if English was your first language and that's your only language. Wow.
You deserved it.
I'm not.
No, but in that same breath, I got lots of awards for my creative writing.
Okay.
So I didn't let that comment,
Yeah.
even though I still remember it to this day. I'm
Yeah.
not telling you how old I am, but anyway,
Yeah.
I didn't let that deter me from my creative writing or even like what I'm doing now with
Yeah.
Mama Rocks.
Yeah.
So, but it's very easy. Like you said, it's about mindset.
Yeah.
Say if I was weak of mind,
Yeah.
I would have absorbed that. and
Those
just-
people's words can
And there's people
could
who do.
affect you and change your whole life.
People left, right, and center be absorbing.
I'm telling you, okay. There was one person when I was a child that said something like, "You're boring." I can't remember the exact words. It was something like, it wasn't "you're boring," but it was something like, something to that effect.
On your face.
Just like that,
Why are you
you're
dating
worried.
this
I
person?
remember this guy. His name was Jonathan Norman. Hey, Jonathan, if you're out there, you've affected my life.
No, don't give
So
them that power.
Jonathan
What do you mean?
Said to me something like along the lines of "you're boring" or like "you got nothing to add to the world," something along those lines. And I
Shit.
remember that I was probably 8,
Damn.
and it's in my mind still. Like I remember,
today, yeah,
I remember what he
that's-
said, and those
that's
you
deep.
see, words are powerful.
Yeah, they are.
They're powerful.
They are, especially
because
to a
even till
developing mind.
today, I'm sorry, but his words affect me till today.
So you need to be careful about what you say, what you put out there, whether you take to
Everybody
your
needs to be careful.
exactly what you say and what you absorb.
What
yeah,
you absorb.
Totally.
What you-
Yeah.
So can I finish my story?
Yeah. So,
Go on. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
All right. So, anyways, testimony school. That was it. And then rich kids. We get to now. We need to enter high school. Yeah. And then so the first high school. At first, I was like, I want to go to a boarding school because I wanted to be away from my parents, my mom. I wanted to be away from my mom. I need freedom. I want to be a man.
I need to figure out what this life is about.
Boarding school was not it. Vihiga High. You'd enter. I don't know if it's still the same. It's a public school, yeah, and it's in Vihiga, which is Western Kenya. Just like
where we're from too, actually. Our father's from there.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, 30 minutes to 1 hour to Kakamega and Kisumu, something like that. So while we're there, life was really like, because those guys in a public school, imagine coming from a private school, then go to a public school.
Yeah.
And these guys are hardcore, according to me. Maybe to them, they're normal people. On top of that, hardcore in terms of just rough. Like they're used to the hard life.
Yeah.
Like from the meals to the lifestyle.
Yeah.
It was, you could enter this latrine, the latrine of this school, and you would find writings in shit. Yeah? Someone has taken their time out.
Sounds like prison.
Someone has taken I'm going there. Someone's taking their time out to go to that toilet, take a shit, and then use their shit as ink.
That's creative.
To write on the wall.
Creative and disgusting.
And write Vihiga High Prison.
Wow.
On the walls of the latrines.
So they really felt like it was a prison. They really felt like it was a prison.
It was, at least for me, man. And of course for that guy as well.
That's a long sentence for shit.
Vihiga High Prison.
That's a lot of words.
Shit.
Yeah, that's a tip. tip.
Oh.
I get it.
Anyway, so it was rough for me at least. But I made a good number of friends there. Also, like it really spurred on my creativity because there's a bunch of Nairobi kids who are also sent there, and they were like into hip hop a lot, and we used to do these hip hop ciphers, like rap ciphers. So it wasn't that bad, but I still remember like I'm not coming back here. So at the end of the
was it
term,
not character building?
Yes.
Isn't it part of... Yeah. Imagine how much like creative energy that's given you when you're writing your script.
I feel like it built his character.
It really did.
For sure.
First of all, if you want to know how I was babied, I used to have fat uncles, yeah? I used to have fat uncles in primary school. My brother used to call me elephantiasis. He used to say, elephantiasis, what's wrong with you? But Vihiga drained me. You see this uncle? Like you see the shape of my leg right now. I got this in Vihiga.
How? What happened?
The life, the fat out of my body. Okay, that's what happened. But anyway, so from there, I remember hating the school, hating the whole situation because it was so hard.
But would you be who you are today with that rough experience?
No, it contributed. Definitely contributed. It really because listen, in that school, my height, my body, I was average. There was giants.
So they raised titans.
There was giants in that school. Like people like Koli Sinjera, he's a former rugby player, Kenyan rugby player. His brother, they're all in that school. I was like in Form 1, they were in like Form 4. There was
so
like
you were like the runt.
There was like a 3-year gap. There was like a 3-year gap between us. But imagine a school made up of rugby players.
Wow.
The school was made up of rugby players.
Yeah,
Why?
It's Western Kenya.
Yeah, Westerners. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people could have gone through your experience and come out saying something very different. Like, I have social anxiety issues because I went to that school.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not confident
For
in
me,
that school.
I
got to be. That's what I'm saying. Everything happens in life. If it's bad, it happens to sharpen you.
You can look at it
You can
in two
use
ways.
that as your superpower.
You can either become a victim or use it as a
an
learning
superpower.
And it's
experience.
a choice.
It's a choice, yeah. So for me, that really helped me in terms of facing my fears. Because I started standing up
Of
for
latrines.
people who were...
of toilets. Sorry.
I started standing up for people who are like twice my size. I started standing up for myself and gaining that confidence of like, you are not gonna dictate to me, or you are not gonna tell me shit. I can also fight.
Literally.
I can fight.
Yeah.
Even if you take me down, I'm gonna take off like 2 of your teeth.
And I'll come back up with my ankles swinging.
Yeah, my elephantiasis.
Elephantitis ankles.
Yeah. And so from there, I lasted there like Form 1 and then maybe Form 2 first term. And then I went to a seminary school in Eldoret. It's called Mother of Apostles Seminary. It's still there.
But Moses, why were you sent there?
Yeah, why?
My
Moses?
mother was
not a regular
Secretary
choice.
General. My mother was Secretary General of the Catholic Church, of the Catholic Diocese in
Wow.
Eldoret. Yo. Yeah.
So you had no choice.
I had and I prefer, to be honest, I prefer the seminary over the prison, though.
But that sounds like a young boy's dream to be sent to
A seminary.
seminary. Yeah.
I see where you're going.
detect
This.
that-
I will not take that route.
I detect
I
that
will
you're
take
being
this route.
sarcastic, but then
There's a
something
whole
else
nother
here.
story that
I
he
will
doesn't
take
want
this
to
other
share.
route. I will not take the direction you're going because that's not the direction I took.
Let's just
Okay.
say that you're being sarcastic.
Yeah, okay. Let's say that.
But yeah, I prefer the seminary over the prison, over the high prison. Yeah, to be honest with you, plus it was closer to home. Like the seminary was here, and my mom's house, which was a flat, is like across the road. Okay, so I could even during the weekends, kids.
You didn't have to stay there, basically.
No, it was boarding.
Ah.
But then during the weekend, when kids used to sneak out to go clubbing or to girls, I used to just sneak out and go home to eat food. I was just like, I want my bed and my mom's food. I was such a mama's boy. I was
ran
sneak
home.
out. I was sneak out with a group of guys, and they're going to clubs, and women and girls, whatever. I'm going to my mom. Like, yo.
Wow. That's people normally run away from home. You ran to home.
I was running to home. Like that was like a wake up call, because when completing primary school class 8, I was like, I want to go to boarding school because I want to get away from home. But then boarding school was prison. I was like, I need my mother. I'm going back home. I need my mother.
So I don't know if anyone can relate to this journey of going from a prison to a seminary school, but yeah, no, it's very important because it helps make sense when you share these stories. It makes sense of who you are and where you are.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm just trying to
Relate
sorry.
it.
I'm really sorry because I'm ruining the flow because it's all at the same time. I think we've been talking for a bit.
We're trying to
and
relate
I'm
to
trying to
the
keep
concept.
on track to the concept. of
I've
what we're talking about.
forgotten the concept.
Know yourself, know your business.
I forgot the concept.
That was the concept.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna scrap out my whole part? Or
No,
what?
no. We keep it there.
Or I fast forward it.
No, because I'm trying to think now.
Because I was getting to that. I was getting to how it affected my life at the end.
All right, let's try and get there faster.
So anyway, after the seminary, then I went back to testimony school and then finished there high school and then went to college, which is again Catholic University. So when I say I had to unlearn everything I learned is everything holistically, from religion to the society telling me what I can do to everything. And I had these big dreams of being this big superstar who's doing all this creative stuff. And it's like that life doesn't exist in Kenya. So like I had to tap into a reality in my head that life exists in Kenya.
Yeah.
You understand? It is
But without seeing it.
without almost
seeing
being
it
blind
yourself.
to it, almost being blind to my reality.
It's like creating it out of
Creating a new
it's
art, create a
creating
new reality in my
Yeah.
head and bring it here.
But
Yeah.
that's what it's all about, though.
Yeah.
That's it.
having
right
a
there.
vision. That's what it's about.
Like when we
And sticking to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like when we started Mama Rocks, we were very sure about in our minds what we wanted it to look like, and it became a reality.
Yeah.
So I suppose there are lots of things that we value as individuals that we've injected into our business, like how we treat our staff, the way we pay people.
And sorry, it's very different from the reality of Kenya. Like we're not looking at, okay, what do people do here, to support their staff or whatever. We don't care about that stuff. We've created our own thing where we're like, okay, we're going to do this and this is how we're going to do it. And we're not really looking at placing ourselves, like basing it on
any
anything
kind of
that's been done
structure or
already.
pre-existing business. And that's the thing. Like I think we're so hung up on rules that we forget that we can do whatever we
You
want to do.
create your own rules.
And I'm not saying that, of course, there are people who've done things and it's worked and it's been amazing and you can use that as a learning, but it doesn't mean you have to use that as a blueprint for what you do.
And you don't have to use it to dictate yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to go with what comes natural to you.
Yeah.
And something that aligns with your business purpose. And so if you want to treat your employees well, you don't need to Google do Kenyans treat their employees like this?
Yeah, you
Just do
what do what you know is right. It's innate, it's instinctive, So why do something lesser just because you're in Kenya?
Now, personally, I like that about you guys because I've seen even on your Instagram videos, all your Instagram videos are very influenced by your people, your guys, your employees.
They know
aka
more
your
than
partners.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're influenced by them. It's like you guys give them that freedom to do that. Like they are the models in the video. They are the creatives in the video. They are the ones who are coming up with the concept.
They're the ones inspiring us.
Exactly. And other people are not doing that, particularly in Kenya. Other companies are not doing I'm not seeing, I don't know, Kenya Airways putting their pilots and they are
And that's because people believe. That's because there's the belief that there's a perception that everything is better outside of here.
You think so?
There's a perception.
That perception of appreciating outside.
Yeah, that the West is best. When we should be generating our content, our inspiration from what has been in the past, from within.
But when you say that from within, that means that you need to understand. You're going around in circles. It means that you need to know your identity, in a way. Because let's be real.
The identity of the place that you're from.
No, let's be real. So in the Western world, like I went through the British education system. Yeah. History, I know everything about, the 18th century England to a T, right? So that's part of your
Kenya needs
pride.
to start from colonization. Kenya history, it's like Kenya
every black person's history starts from colonization.
And that's not our history.
Yeah.
How is that black history?
Because it's not from us. That's the
exactly.
issue. It's not from
we are
us.
being given from the education system to employment system to even how this breakfast, lunch, supper thing.
Yeah. It's not from us.
It's not from us.
And I really feel like, I don't know, with Mama Rocks, we've honestly, in the last few years, we've tried to be inspired solely by Africa, what's from Africa, ideas from Africa, not necessarily what's come from abroad.
Yes, that's also been part of our journey, understanding that history and trying our
and
best.
It's difficult.
It's hard because it's not on Google.
It's difficult. It's not out there.
Yeah.
You really have to dig. But we need to really, I feel like we need to tap into how it was before colonization, before Africans were disturbed from their path.
What was the value system?
What was the value system?
I feel like it's a personal journey that every African needs to take. That just take your time out, do research on your history, and don't go for the things, the Wikipedia or the Google stuff that has been put out there by people who are not. You are not people. You are people.
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily the best way for you.
And I think that's a really nice way to end this podcast. To challenge people to find out about their family themselves as an individual, their family history, and then their history as a people in terms of, I don't know, the country of Kenya, the continent that is Africa as well.
Go back to your roots.
Yeah. Let's do that as a call to action for people.
I'm sorry, it's the best way.
So think about it. Meditate on it.
Yeah. All right.
So that's us, guys. Episode 3. Yeah. Thank you for your input.
We would like some comments from you.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think about this discussion and any points that you want to add. And we can keep this going. We can bring this back again. This discussion back again, because it's vital. We need to talk more, I feel, about who
identity full stop.
Yeah.
And let's just stop this copy-paste thing. This copy-paste culture. Let's be more individualistic. Just be more individual,
and creative.
Like if you're an institution, go back to your mission and vision.
Yeah.
If you're an individual,
create one. Create one in the first place.
Personal mission, vision, and values. Yeah.
And all companies have one because it's mandatory of forming a company.
What do you stand for?
Yeah.
What
so
are you
go back
about?
to that.
What do you want to achieve in the world? Why are you here?
Others, you don't start wondering why you're failing. Yet you're doing the same thing everyone else
every day.
is doing.
They say that's madness, isn't it?
And that mission needs to drive you every day. That's the thing that I get out of bed every morning because I want to make the world a better place. And that's honestly, I'm not just saying that to just be like woo-woo. I want to make the world a better place. That's what keeps me going.
And there's no such thing as too small. Every little incremental step adds to the bigger picture of change. Yeah. So on that note, thank you for watching.
Peace.
Thank you, guys.